Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. This is Ashwin Ramani here, research analyst at SBI Securities. I hope I'm audible and I hope you all are able to see my screen. If you all can give me a heads up in the chat box. अगर मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है, स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहा तो आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स में कमेंट करके बता सकते हो so that I know you all are with me live in the session. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes. I see that people are joining in. And in the meantime, if you are able to see my screen and if you are able to hear me, do let me know in the chat box. Good afternoon. Is my video visible? Yes. Good morning. Good afternoon. We are moving up. Sridhar ji, hi. Good afternoon. Okay, all clear. Okay, great. Just a second. Okay. Uh, Good afternoon, Brindaban ji. Okay. So now let us start off with an update on the global markets first. So first up, if we look at the US markets, so Dow Jones uh, probably closed around 0.04% higher. S&P 500 closed 0.47% higher, while the Nasdaq closed around 0.90% higher. सो नैस्डैक में वो टेक स्टॉक्स के वजह से थोड़ा सा प्रेशर में आया था लास्ट वीक, बट द इंडेक्स हैज बीन एबल टू रिकूप सम ऑफ द losses here. If you look at Dow futures is down 0.08%. So that is indicating a slight flat to negative start to the US markets today. If you look at the European markets, Germany closed 1.19% higher. London was up 0.16%, while France was up 0.60%. So I think even the European markets, had a good outing. Euro Stocks index was down around 9 points, so almost a flat close for the Euro Stocks index. If you look at the Asian markets, Hang Seng is up 0.48%. Japan continues to do well. So with the new government, with the new stimulus that is being planned, I think for the last 2 days, I think Nikkei is doing really well. It is up 2.28%. China is up 0.17%. Kospi is up 0.07%. Sensex and Nifty, I think we are, doing great. I think we are almost nearing the 26,000 mark. So if you remember for the last, before yesterday, the 3 days earlier, we were in a consolidation phase. Yesterday we got a breakout. And I think since then, though the movement has not been very sharp, but I think steadily we are moving upwards. Nifty is at 25,950 up 90 points. Sensex is at 84,400 currently. So if you see, Nikkei has seen a good rise in the last 2 sessions. That is up around 11% in the last 1 month. Kospi is up 14%. Nifty has also seen some rise here. We are up almost 1% in the last 1 month. Not a significant gain, but at least there is some recovery that we are seeing in the index post the US-India, trade deal announcement. If you look at the macro indicators, so dollar index failed to sustain above its 20-day EMA, और हम वहाँ से डॉलर इंडेक्स में गिरावट नजर आई. So this 97, 98, that is a strong resistance level for the dollar index. तो जब तक ये 20-day EMA के ऊपर नहीं जाता, तब तक I feel the overall trend for dollar index is likely to remain negative. दूसरी तरफ अगर हम डॉलर बाय रुपी देखें तो अभी भी हम एलिवेटेड लेवल्स पर है, 90.68 के आसपास है. भले ही हम 92 से थोड़ा नीचे आ गए, यहाँ पे 3-4 दिन कंसोलिडेट कर रहा था, अभी भी हाल ही में कंसोलिडेट ही कर रहा है. आई थिंक वी नीड डॉलर टू मूव बिलो 90. जब तक हम 90 के नीचे है, तब जाके थोड़ा सा एक स्वीट स्पॉट में हम रह सकते हैं. गाइस, I do the question and answer once I complete my bid market. So 1 to 115 is when I'll take your questions. So for the ones who have just joined in today and have I mean, we have no clue as to how the structure works. So for the first 30 minutes, I talk about the market, sectors, and stocks, FII positioning, indices ke kuch key levels, and then from 1 to 1:15, I have a separate Q&A session, and I'll try to answer your questions in that period, guys. नहीं तो ये सिर्फ question and answer ही होता जाएगा, and we will miss out on what is important. If you look at the US government bonds 10-year yields, I think there is some cool off in the government bonds yields here. It's at around 4.2%. So I think we need the US government bonds 10-year yields to be below 4.2. As long as we are below 4.2, I think no major signs to worry. The Japanese yields, so yesterday we saw Japanese yields moving up 2.7%, but nevertheless it's been trading flat. 2.20 on the downside, 2.30 on the upside. I think if we move about 2.30, chances are that Japanese bond markets might become attractive. If you look at the Indian 10-year bonds, we are still at the high levels. We are still consolidating. I think this is a small cause of concern for our markets, especially when inflation is low, when the rates are steady. When we are doing good on fiscal prudence, usually the rate shouldn't be this high. It should ideally be somewhere around 6.5, 6.6%. But the fact that we are near about 6.7%, I think it's still very high, significantly high. But hopefully, I think the Indian government bonds 10-year yields also cools off from here. If Brent crude की बात करें तो Brent crude ने यहाँ पे breakout के बाद it has been consolidating in a range. I think any move above $70 can lead to crude oil prices moving up, and higher crude oil prices, again, it's not a very good sign for an oil importing nation like us, considering the fact that we'll be buying a lot of Venezuelan oil as well as a lot of oil from US going forward. And obviously the invoicing for crude oil is done in dollars. So any high crude oil prices will probably hurt our foreign exchange reserves as well. If you look at India VIX, so India VIX again relatively has been, moving in a range. We are below the 12 mark. Usually post budget, we have seen volatility cooling off. I think once 12.513, if we move up about 12.513 again, I think chances are that we can expect some volatility to pick up. But as of now, I think volatility is relatively subdued in the markets. If you look at silver, so silver bounced from its 100-day EMA, almost $64. $64 an ounce. Say we have seen some pullback towards $80 an ounce. I feel till the time it's below $92 an ounce, I feel the overall sentiment is still sideways to bearish in silver. But if we move past the 92 mark, I think then chances are that we can expect pullback to continue on the upside. But till the time silver is below $92 an ounce, the overall sentiment is likely to remain sideways to bearish. If you look at gold, so gold has also seen a strong pullback since hitting its 50-day EMA. Gold looks relatively stronger as compared to silver currently, and I feel if gold takes out $5,100 an ounce on the upside, I think then we can expect even gold to steadily move higher. So at one point, silver was outperforming gold, but today I think it's gold which is outperforming silver currently. If you look at the FII positioning, at least there is some good positive signs as far as the FII flows are concerned. If you see in the last 5 days, there have been net buyers in last 4 out of the 5 sessions, wherein their total net buying stands at 7,321 crores. And last 2 days, there has been some good buying figure. I mean, materially also, if you see, they have bought around 4,200 crores in the cash market. इतना बड़ा हाई बाइंग फिगर हमने काफी टाइम से देखा नहीं था FIIs की तरफ से. So at least there is some interest. I won't say कि पूरा sentiment shift हो गया है, but at least some flows have started to come in, which is kind of helping up Nifty. इतना भी significant नहीं है, but definitely there is some positive flows coming by from the FIIs. But as far as the index futures are concerned, the long short ratio hovers around that 18 to 19% mark. No significant signs of short covering seen yet as far as index futures are concerned. I think this is what we want. Ideally, if market has to move from 26,000 to let's say 27,000, ideally your long short ratio from 18-19% should go to 50-60%. Because there are some significant shorts that are being held by the FIIs. Though they have covered some shorts, you can see long short ratio dropped to 11. From 11 we have gone to 19. But still they have almost 80% shorts and 20% longs. Ideally this should change. Long short ratio, if FII start covering more shorts and probably add more longs later, I think then probably chances are that we can see a very good recovery on the upside in our Nifty index. If we look at the index movement now, so first if we look at Nifty की अगर हम बात करें तो कल Nifty एक गैप अप के साथ खुला, बट पूरा दिन एक रेंज में ही रहा. कल अगर आपको याद है हमने 25,870 का एक लेवल मार्क किया था, बट आज वो 25,870 के ऊपर खुला. Initially we were Nifty made a high, it went until 25,978. That is for the initial 1 hour or so we could see Nifty doing well. But since then, since 11 o'clock, almost since the last couple of hours, Nifty has been moving in a range here. Now if I have to, अगर हम डेली चार्ट की भी बात करें, यहाँ पे डेली चार्ट भी देख लेते हैं. डेली चार्ट पे हमने ये 3 दिन का कंसोलिडेशन फेस के ऊपर हमने कल क्लोजिंग दिया. भले ही एक डोजी कैंडल बना था कल, which is your indecision candle. Today again we are above the previous day's high, but again there is a small body doji candle here, so itna significant presence nahi hai buyers ka over the sellers. We are just trying to be steady. I think that is what I could say. Now if we talk about the key levels for Nifty, I feel the major resistance would be this mark. That is your 26,000 mark here. I think if we move above the day's high, which is around 25,980, but I feel 25,980, 26,000, that's a strong resistance for Nifty. अगर हम ये level के ऊपर जाते हैं, then chances are that we could expect Nifty to at least move towards 2650, 2680. On the downside, I feel this immediate low is likely to act as a support. That is somewhere around 25,950. If we go below 25,950, then chances are that Nifty could give up some of the initial gains that it made in the morning, and probably we can move around 40-50 points lower if 25,950 gets broken on the downside. On the upside, I feel wait till we get a breakout about 26,000. I think once 26,000 is taken out, chances are that Nifty is likely to move higher. If we look at Sensex, so Sensex also is kind of mirroring Nifty's movement. So yesterday Sensex was kind of moving in a range here, almost 84,100. That was the level that we discussed in yesterday's session. Similarly for Sensex also, if you see, we opened on a strong note. We made a high of 84,446, और वहां से हम पिछले 2 घंटे से एकदम से छोटे छोटे कैंडल्स बन रहे हैं और हम रेंज में ट्रेड कर रहे हैं. सो सेंसेक्स का भी सिमिलर होगा. नाउ फॉर सेंसेक्स टू मूव हायर, इट नीड्स टू क्रॉस द डेज हाई, which is your 84,450, 84,500 levels. अगर हमें 84,450, 84,500 के ऊपर एक ब्रेकआउट मिलता है, then chances are that we can kind of move up higher. On the downside, I feel the immediate support for Sensex would be 84,300. If we go below 84,300, then chances are that some of the gains that Sensex made in the morning, that could be kind of lost here. So I think Sensex is in a no trade zone. Similarly, even Nifty is in a no trade zone. I think Nifty needs to move above 26,000, whereas Sensex to move higher, it needs to move above 84,450, 84,500. On the downside, if we go below 84,300, then probably we could lose some of the gains here. If you look at the daily chart is kind of interesting. If you see, this was the range in which Sensex was moving in, और कल के सेशन में हमें यहाँ पे ब्रेकआउट भी मिला था, and it's kind of moving up higher. I think so. I think there is one candle that is missing here, but nevertheless, I think we are still above the day's range. It's just that momentum फिलहाल है नहीं. The volatility is extremely low. both in Nifty and Sensex currently. If we look at Bank Nifty, so Bank Nifty is also very lackluster. If you see, Bank Nifty is also moving in a range, extremely tight range. If you see, the major support zone for Bank Nifty is around 6,700. I think Bank Nifty took support multiple times here around the 6,700 zone. On the upside, I feel for Bank Nifty to move higher, it needs to move above this mark. That is around 6,770, 6,800. I think once we move above 6,770, 6,800, chances are that we can expect Bank Nifty to move higher. There is some traction building up, but I feel it needs to move above this 100-point zone. I think once it takes out 6,770, 6,800, then we can expect Bank Nifty to move higher. If you look at the daily chart, again, there is a formation of a small doji candle. Yesterday also there were wicks on lower wicks here, some buying interest at the lower levels. Today also you could see Bank Nifty kind of drifted down, and again there is some buying interest at the lower levels here. इसके पहले भी दिन भी होगा, लोअर विक्स था, मतलब ड्रॉप होता है, फिर लोअर लेवल से बाइंग, ड्रॉप होता है, लोअर लेवल से बाइंग, ड्रॉप होता है, लोअर लेवल से बाइंग, अगेन ड्रॉप होता है, लोअर लेवल से बाइंग, अगेन थोड़ा ड्रॉप हुआ, लोअर लेवल से बाइंग हुआ. दैट मीन्स अगर आप देखोगे, आप एक सेंटिमेंट रीड करोगे बैंक निफ्टी का, तो पिछले 3-4 दिनों से जब जब से बैंक निफ्टी गिरा है, तब तक लोअर लेवल से एक स्ट्रॉन्ग बाइंग आता है. ऐसा नहीं कि बैंक निफ्टी गिरते जाता है, भले ही मोमेंटम कम हो, भले ही वॉलिटिलिटी कम हो, बट वो लोअर लेवल्स को प्रोटेक्ट करके रखता है. सो बेसिकली योर स्ट्रेटजी हैज टू बी बाय ऑन डिप्स. You should be marking out your key support zones in Bank Nifty, and once you see any strong reversal signs around these zones, chances are that you can expect your Bank Nifty to move higher. Now talking about, now let's talk about the sectors to watch. Okay, let me remove the unwanted ones. Just a second. We want mid cap 100. Okay. Now talking about the key sectors to watch, which are the sectors that are in focus, कौन से sectors है? तो अगर आप देखोगे which are the sectors to avoid, there are two sectors that you should clearly avoid for now. One is IT. IT is in the lagging quadrant, so clearly strength भी नहीं है, momentum भी नहीं है IT में. The other sector that you should be avoiding right now is FMCG. FMCG is also in your lagging quadrant here. Now talking about the sectors जहाँ पे strength है but फिलहाल के लिए momentum नहीं है. If you see the sectors that are in yellow, the sectors that are in the weakening quadrant. So if any particular sector is in a weakening quadrant, then that means there is definitely strength in that sector. मतलब वो sector strong तो है, but फिलहाल के लिए वो sector में momentum नहीं है. So for example, metal, if you see, strong है metal, अगर आप देखोगे overall uptrend ही है, but इतना strong momentum नहीं है फिलहाल में. Even PSU banks, private banks, financial services, Nifty Bank overall. So all these sectors are strong, but they are not showing any strong momentum. Even if you see the ones that are in the leading quadrant, PSE and CPSE are kind of moving down. तो यहाँ पे भले ही strength momentum है, but the head should not be moving down here. Even if you see oil and gas is kind of moving down, energy is moving down. अगर आप देखोगे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडेक्स थोड़ा सा एक प्रॉफिट बुकिंग आया, बट स्टिल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग अभी भी स्ट्रॉन्ग है. But the sectors that you should be looking at, one is clearly infrastructure. So infrastructure, अगर आप देखोगे, it is moving from improving to leading quadrant, and clearly the head is pointing upwards. So clearly, infrastructure index can do well. Apart from that, अगर आप पिछले 2 दिन से आप देखोगे, let me show you, the broader markets are in fact doing well. If you look at mid cap index, मिड कैप इंडेक्स स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स में काफी पेन था काफी टाइम से, but mid cap and small cap have relatively started to do well. So mid cap has again given a fresh breakout. Even if you look at small cap since the low year it went up, corrected, and अगर आपको याद है डाउन ट्रेंड के बाद एक फर्स्ट टिक में हम नहीं करते, फिर एक पुल बैक आता है, सेकंड टिक जो होता है. So I think small cap and mid cap both are ready to move up higher, and they are in that second tick currently. So if you look at small cap 100, mid cap 100, so mid cap 100 has kind of move from improving to quadrant. So definitely there is some strength and momentum picking up in the mid cap space. Even small cap 100 is in the leading quadrant. Consumer durables is also one other sector that you can look at, that is also showing some strength. Nifty auto lagging quadrant mein tha, but there is some, if you look at some names like Eicher Motors and all, some of Mahindra and Mahindra for that matter, Maruti for that matter, some of the auto names have again started to do well. So auto, so infrastructure sector, auto sector, consumer durables, then manufacturing, and your mid cap and small cap. So your focus should be probably on these sectors and your these indices here. Now talking about the key stocks to watch out, like I said, Nifty consumer durables looks good. There is definitely some momentum that is picking up in the consumer durable space. So one stock from the consumer durable space that can likely do well is Titan. अगर हम Titan की बात करें, it's trading near its major resistance now, that is about the 4,300 4,310 mark. अगर हमें Titan में यहाँ पे 4,310 के ऊपर breakout मिलता है, then chances are that Titan can do well from here. The other, stock that is doing well or can likely do well, I would say it's Whirlpool. Because if you look at Whirlpool has kind of given a downward sloping trendline breakout here. And this was also a major support zone for Whirlpool. It had kind of drifted below its support zone. But again, there is some recovery that is seen from the lower levels here. But I think it managed to close above its 20 and move up higher. Though there is not a strong candle formation today, but I think any move above 905, 910, if Whirlpool is able to sustain above this, I think chances are that even Whirlpool can kind of go up from the current levels here. If you look at another stock is Crompton. Crompton Greaves की हम बात करें, so even Crompton has given a downward sloping trendline breakout. This was post your earnings. The breakout was supported by volume spike. RSI is above 60. DI plus is above DI minus in the ADX indicator. MACD has given a crossover with MACD above the zero line with rising histogram bars. So clearly you can see there is some momentum shift that is happening in Crompton Greaves as well. So the overall consumer durable space, I think that is one sector that can likely do well, in the coming sessions. Apart from that, like I said, so जैसे आपका small cap index है, mid cap index है, वैसे ही आपका micro cap index भी है. So अगर हम micro cap देखें, so even if we look at micro cap index, you can see even micro cap index is doing well. So भले ही आज Nifty and Sensex में basically your large caps are relatively flat, but your micro caps, small caps and mid caps, which were lagging for quite some time, they have started to see some traction. So there are some couple of micro cap names that you can focus on. One is Avanti Feeds. So Avanti Feeds, I think, has a very big market, biggest beneficiary of India-US trade deal. So see all your shrimps and etc. So even Avanti Feeds post the breakout, we had discussed this probably 4-5 sessions back as well. So Avanti Feeds has started to move up higher, and I feel as long as Avanti Feeds is probably around above 1050, chances are that it is likely to do well in the coming sessions. Apart from that, even Jamna Auto for that matter, Jamna Auto also has been moving in a higher high, higher low formation. RSI is above 60, DI plus is above DI minus in the ADX indicator. Even Jamna Auto is trading near the resistance now, so around 135, 136. I think once we get a breakout above 135, 136, chances are that it can move towards 145, 150 levels in the short term. So clearly, your some select names. I'm not saying all the names, but some select names from your micro cap index. जैसे your top 100 stocks are your large cap, 100 to 250 are your mid cap, 251 to 500 is your small cap, and जितने भी companies है 500 to 750, usually those are your micro cap companies. So वो category में आते हैं आपका Avanti Feeds and Jamna Auto. Apart from that, like I said, even manufacturing index, that is also one index that looks extremely strong. And post the budget, there is some increased traction that we are seeing in the manufacturing index. So the first stock that I want to discuss is Linde India. If you look at Linde India, so there is a major consolidation breakout on the daily chart that was well supported by the rise in volumes. RSI has gone up to almost 75, strong crossover in DI plus and DI minus, and MACD has also moved above the zero line. So as long as Linde India is able to stay above the 6,360, 6,400, the overall trend is likely to remain positive for Linde India. Apart from that, even Motherson has also given a fresh breakout. So we discussed even auto sector is kind of improving. So Motherson has given a major breakout from 125. That is where its previous resistance was. And if Motherson is able to hold above 124, 125, chances are that even Motherson is likely to do well. And the last stock that I want to discuss for the day is JSW Steel. So even JSW Steel, it took strong support from its 20-day EMA. It went up, consolidated. Last 2 days, again, it's consolidating. But till the time JSW Steel is able to hold about 12.15, 12.20, the overall trend is likely to remain positive. And 12.55, 12.60, I think any strong follow through move above this level, chances are that even JSW Steel is likely to move higher. Now coming to the last segment of the day. So if you remember, so yesterday, we are doing a series on fundamental concepts. If you remember, what are the things that we have learned in fundamental? अगर कोई मुझे बता पाएगा. So if you remember, I told you what are the basic things that you need to check. Like I said, you have to look at the revenue growth of last 5 years. You have to look at the profit growth of last 5 years. You have to look at cash flows, whether company is making cash, at least operating cash flows positive होना चाहिए. फिर अगर आपको याद है, हमने बोला था कि आपको ऑपरेटिंग मार्जिन देखना चाहिए, whether the company is making profits at the operating level, that is nothing but your sales minus cost. देन अगर आपको याद है, हमने एक EBITDA मार्जिन कल डिस्कस किया था. यू शुड सी वेदर EBITDA मार्जिन्स आर इंप्रूविंग. देन वी लुक्ड एट नेट प्रॉफिट मार्जिन्स, उसको हम NPM बोलते हैं. NPM मार्जिन्स कंपनी का इंप्रूव हो रहा है कि नहीं, वो हम देखते हैं. देन हमने देखा था कि अगर कंपनी, आइडियली यू शुड बी, इफ यू आर अ कंजर्वेटिव इन्वेस्टर, आइडियली एक डेट, ideally you can invest in a debt free company. That is one option. But if the company has debt in their books, which is the case with all your capex related companies, it should also be seen whether the revenues are also growing at the same time. It's not that you should be investing in companies that is only piling up debts. That should be supported by good revenue growth. Also, the company should have healthy reserves and surplus in the books as well. And that reserves and surplus should not be used to repay the loans, but it should be used to expand the business. That is why, reserves and surpluses are kind of used for. Now, there are a couple of things that we will learn today to add on to this. So there are two important parameters that you need to check. One is called as ROE. Then that means that company doesn't have cash with them, विनय जी. मतलब वो वर्किंग कैपिटल के लिए इतना कैश है नहीं, बट वो देखना पड़ेगा कि दैट नेगेटिव फिगर हर साल बढ़ते जा रहा है कि नहीं. आइडियली अ पॉजिटिव कैश फ्लो, ऑपरेटिंग कैश फ्लोज, मतलब जो कैश फ्लोज धंधा से आता है, दैट इज योर ऑपरेटिंग कैश फ्लोज. आइडियली दैट शुड बी अ पॉजिटिव फिगर, बिकॉज अगर वो कैश नहीं है तो दे कीप रिसोर्टिंग टू शॉर्ट टर्म बोरोइंग्स टू मेंटेन देयर वर्किंग कैपिटल. उनका डेटर पेमेंट्स, क्रेडिटर पेमेंट्स मैनेज करना, डे टू डे ऑपरेशंस मैनेज करना. सो आइडियली एक स्ट्रॉन्ग, अगर आपका कैश, आप कोई भी देख लो, आप कोई भी कंपनी का कैश फ्लोज देख लो, ऑपरेटिंग कैश फ्लोज देख लो, that company tends to kind of do well if the cash flows are positive on the operating side. Now there are two other things. One is ROE and one is ROC. Does anyone know what is ROE and ROC? So ROE stands for return on equity and ROC stands for return on capital employed. Two important parameters to check. एक है आपका रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी एंड रिटर्न ऑन कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड। आइडली द हायर द बेटर, इसका भी ट्रेंड इंक्रीजिंग होना चाहिए, हायर द बेटर, इसका भी ट्रेंड इंक्रीजिंग होना चाहिए, हायर द बेटर। कैन एनीवन टेल मी व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन आरओई एंड आरओसी इन सिंपल टर्म्स? इफ यू ऑल कैन लेट मी नो इन द chat box. Yes, Rakesh ji, I'll add that point as well. Trustworthy promoters with long-standing reputation. You don't need promoters like, I can't take the names due to compliance, but I think you got the gist what I'm trying to say. So trustworthy promoters होना चाहिए, ऐसे promoters होना चाहिए who has a reputation of managing strong growth. Look at the promoters of TCS for that matter. Look at the promoters of HDFC Bank. I mean, look at the promoters of your good FMCG companies. See, there are अच्छा equity capital और capital employed क्या difference है दोनों के बीच, अगर आप मुझे बता सकते हो? हाँ, how much is your capital generating? Yes, absolutely. सी, कंपनी को दो तरीके से पैसा मिलता है बेसिकली। एक है, मान लो देर इज अ कंपनी नेम अश्विन लिमिटेड। अब वो अश्विन लिमिटेड क्या करता है? अश्विन लिमिटेड मैन्युफैक्चर करता है स्टील। ओके, इट्स अ स्मॉल स्टील बेस्ड कंपनी। नाउ अश्विन लिमिटेड वांट्स टू ग्लो ग्लोबल, ही डजंट वांट टू स्टे इन मुंबई। अब वो एक्सपांड करना है तो ग्लोबल करना है, तो अश्विन लिमिटेड आईपीओ के लिए आता है, इनिशियल पब्लिक ऑफर। और अभी अश्विन इज वांट्स मनी। स्टार्टिंग में फ्रेंड्स एंड फैमिलीज हेल्प कर दिए, बीच में वेंचर कैपिटल ने हेल्प कर दिया, प्राइवेट इक्विटी ने हेल्प कर दिया, फिर सीरीज ए, सीरीज बी, सीरीज सी, वो सब हो गया। अब नाउ अश्विन वांट्स टू ग्लोबल, कि अश्विन स्टील लिमिटेड वांट्स टू कॉम्पीट विद जेएसडब्ल्यू स्टील, जिंदाल स्टील, टाटा स्टील। सो ही वांट्स टू रेज मनी नाउ, ही इज अ स्मॉल कंपनी ट्राइंग टू बी बिगर. So Ashwin looks for capital from two major players. He's saying equity is one type of capital that he wants to raise. वो बोल देंगे कि मेरे को 4,000 करोड़ रेस करना है, मुझे 5,000 करोड़ रेस करना है, क्या आप मेरे कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट करोगे? सेकेंडली, ही विल ऑल्सो रिसोर्ट टू सम डेट्स, थोड़ा लोन भी ले लेंगे, डेट ले लेंगे, बैंक से ले लेंगे डेट, या डिबेंचर से ले लेंगे। इंडिविजुअल्स हु गिव लोन्स, दोज आर योर डिबेंचर्स। अभी डेट आएगा तो ऑब्वियसली इट विल एक इंटरेस्ट रेट चार्ज करेंगे, तो दैट विल गो डाउन फ्रॉम योर एबिडा। एबिडा से जो इंटरेस्ट माइनस होता है, सबसे पहले डिबेंचर वाले लोग को इंटरेस्ट जाता है, फिर ही इक्विटी डिविडेंड मिलता है लास्ट में। सो लेट्स से देयर आर, आई गॉट अ कपल ऑफ इक्विटी इन्वेस्टर्स, सचिन जी, सुधाकर जी, राकेश जी, एंड आई टेक विनय जी। उन्होंने बोला ठीक है, हम आपके कंपनी के इक्विटी होल्डर्स बन जाते हैं, हम आपके कंपनी में पैसा लगाते हैं। फिर लेट्स से बाबूभाई जी इज अ बैंक, बाबूभाई बैंक लिमिटेड, मैं उनके पास जाता हूँ, उनको बोलता हूँ मेरा स्टील कंपनी है, मुझे अब लोन चाहिए, क्या आप मुझे लोन देंगे? तो बाबू भाई बोलते डेफिनेटली देंगे, हम आपको 9% इंटरेस्ट चार्ज करेंगे, बट आप बस डिफॉल्ट मत करना, हमारा पैसा डुबाना नहीं आप, और ये भी लोन। सो मुझे इक्विटी से पैसा मिल गया, बैंक से भी पैसा मिल गया। सो दिस इज योर इक्विटी कंपोनेंट, डेट कंपोनेंट, दैट बिकम्स योर कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर। सो आप कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर मतलब इट्स अ कंपोनेंट ऑफ योर इक्विटी एंड डेट। अब मैं क्या करूंगा, मान लो मुझे इक्विटी आया 300 करोड़, और मान लो डेट आया मुझे 100 करोड़, टोटल आई रिसीव 400 करोड़। नाउ व्हाट विल आई डू विद दैट 400 करोड़? आई विल इन्वेस्ट इन दिस बिजनेस। Now I will buy assets that will generate revenue from me. I will invest in capex. I will buy some big machines here. capex करूंगा, उसमें से तो मुझे revenues आएंगे, revenues आएंगे, तो मुझे profit होंगे, profit होंगे, तो ultimately it will result in cash flows. अगर मैं profit बनाऊंगा तब जाके मैं equity वाले को खुश कर पाऊंगा, अगर मैं प्रॉफिट बनाऊंगा तब जाके मैं बाबूभाई बैंक को मैं इंटरेस्ट दे पाऊंगा। अगर मैं एक लॉस मेकिंग कंपनी हो तो इक्विटी वाले बोलेंगे भाई डिविडेंड तो दे, डिविडेंड कैसे दे पाऊंगा? अगर मैं लॉस मेकिंग कंपनी हूं तो मैं डिविडेंड नहीं दे पाऊंगा। अगर मैं लॉस मेकिंग है, मेरा ऑपरेटिंग लेवल में ही लॉस है, तो बाबूभाई विल से व्हाट अबाउट माय मनी, यू हैव टू गिव मी प्रिंसिपल प्लस 9% इंटरेस्ट, एंड if I don't give dividends, and I mean, then I'm not even, if I don't generate enough profits, if I don't generate enough cash flows, then to expand the business, ideally I have to use the own money that is generated, right? नहीं तो अब तो फिर से बाबू भाई के पास जाना पड़ेगा, मान लो आलोक जी के पास जाना पड़ेगा, दूसरा बैंक के पास, कि आप भी मुझे लोन दे दो, अभी मुझे एक्सपांड करना है। It can't function that way, right? So equity and debt. So अगर आप ROE stands for return on equity, मतलब equity का पैसा लगा के आपको कितना रिटर्न मिला, that is called as equity, return on equity. अगर आप पूरा 400 करोड़, दैट इज टोटल कैपिटल, आपने कितना एम्प्लॉय किया, टोटल कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ इक्विटी कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड प्लस डेट एम्प्लॉयड, पूरा दोनों एम्प्लॉय करके आपको कितना कैपिटल मिला, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज रिटर्न ऑन कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड ईयर. सो एक आप सिर्फ इक्विटी का कैपिटल लगा के कितना रिटर्न ले रहे हो, एक आप पूरा कैपिटल लगा के आप कितना रिटर्न ले रहे हो, दैट इज योर ROE एंड ROC. एंड दोनों ROE एंड ROC has to be growing. They should be maintaining their margins. Industry margin से ज्यादा है कि नहीं वो देखना है. Yeah, ROC should also be higher. ROC margin should also be increasing year on year. So now, what are the things that you need to look at? So I hope this ROE and ROC part is clear with the help of this small example. Because if I don't make profits, obviously you as a shareholder will question the company. कि क्या ना डिविडेंड दे रहे हो, ना आप केपेक्स में एक्सपांड कर रहे हो. आई हैव टू एसेट्स खरीदा तो उसका डेप्रिसिएशन होगा, कुछ लोन्स लिया तो इसका इंटरेस्ट जाएगा, प्रॉफिट हुआ तो गवर्नमेंट को टैक्स देना पड़ेगा, फिर उसमें बचा तो प्रेफरेंस डिविडेंड है, अगर मैंने प्रेफरेंस कैपिटल लिया तो उनको भी डिविडेंड जाएगा, फिर इक्विटी डिविडेंड बचता है लास्ट में. So always see whether the company is efficiently using its capital or not. Equity का पैसा बरोबर लग रहा है, उसमें रिटर्न जनरेट कर पा रहे हैं कि नहीं. पूरा कैपिटल, टोटल कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड, वो पैसा का बिजनेस में लग के उसमें अगर रिटर्न जनरेट कर पा रहे हैं कि नहीं, वो भी देखना काफी जरूरी है. So look at revenues. Now I'll give you one small case study. So when we meet tomorrow, what I want you all to do is, I also want you all to do some homework and give me a company. It can be any company of your choice, but it has to meet these parameters. Revenue growth strong रहना चाहिए कंपनी का, प्रॉफिट ग्रोथ स्ट्रॉन्ग रहना चाहिए, कैश फ्लोज ऑपरेटिंग कैश फ्लोज पॉजिटिव होना चाहिए, ऑपरेटिंग मार्जिन शुड बी हेल्दी, एबिटा मार्जिन शुड बी हेल्दी, नेट प्रॉफिट मार्जिन शुड बी हेल्दी. अगर डेट फ्री कंपनी, आई विल एक्सेप्ट दैट. अगर डेट है तो it should be supported by revenue growth as well. ऐसा नहीं कि debt growth ज्यादा है, revenue growth कम है. Then I want to see improving ROE every year, whether the ROE is also improving, and also I want to see ROC भी improve हो रहा है कि नहीं. You give me a company which is meeting these parameters and we'll check randomly, we'll check 2-3 companies in tomorrow's mid market session, ताकि आप लोग को भी at least थोड़ा धीरे at least, I'm not saying आपको this is the only thing that you read, but at least you will start picking out good fundamentally sound companies at least. बाद में वो valuation game, that is all is very different, but at least these basic things that you can do, revenue growth देख लो, profit growth देख लो, ROE देख लो, ROC देख लो. There are more such parameters, we'll add on to that, but फिलहाल के लिए ये parameters से कल के सेशन में याद रखना. आप मुझे एक कंपनी ऐसे ढूंढ के बताना जो एटलीस्ट ये पैरामीटर्स में अच्छा कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, and then we will discuss in tomorrow's session. ठीक है, now चलो let's start with our question and answer session. If you have any queries, any doubts, do let me know in the chat. Yeah, I'll talk about PEG ratio. प्रहलाद जी मैं आता हूँ. एक P ratio है, प्राइस टू बुक वैल्यू है, PEG ratio है, आपका प्रमोटर होल्डिंग है, प्लेज है, FII है, वो सारे चीजें हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे आराम से. महिंद्रा एंड मारुति, I mean, are you talking about ये फंडामेंटल पैरामीटर्स आप बोल रहे हो कि आप मुझे स्टॉक चेक करने बोल रहे हो? तमिलनाडु मर्केंटाइल बैंक, आई थिंक यू कैन गुड. सुमित जी ये एक्चुअली अच्छा स्टॉक आप पिक करते हो, सो वेरी गुड. आई थिंक सुमित जी यू कैन 665 का आप SL रख के इसको आप ट्रेल कर सकते हो. AWL I think avoid करना. Overall it's in a downtrend. I think it's better to avoid AWL. Kotak Bank is good. I think you can consider with around 425 as an SL for Kotak Bank. अच्छा, fundamental parameters. Okay. अच्छा, let me do one thing. अच्छा, give me some mid cap and small cap names. I think large cap names तो आप बोल ही लोगे. L&T, Mahindra, Maruti. These are all large cap names, but I want you all to give me, avoid micro cap, but give me a good mid cap and small cap, which is kind of meeting these parameters, and also a company which has some good future prospects as well. I kind of missed out, Sudhakar ji. If you can let me know again. Voltas, yeah, Voltas is good. Hospitals का मैंने क्या sir? Hospitals are cash flow units and investing on momentum is weak. Any reason? Uh, See, the overall healthcare space is undergoing some consolidation, Sudhakar ji. If you look at even the trend for all your healthcare pharma stocks, uh, they are not really doing well. If you look at Nifty healthcare index, so I think थोड़ा सा consolidation चल रहा है वहाँ पे. If you see overall healthcare index, even if you look at the charts here, the overall trend is not very positive here. So I feel it's routine consolidation, but I think sector rotation आ जाएगा तो, and then I think healthcare stocks will start moving up again. ऑयल इंडिया बाबू भाई का बैंक है, मुझे 9% इंटरेस्ट देंगे. सो ऑयल इंडिया आई थिंक यू कैन होल्ड टिल द टाइम इट holds above 480. Chances are that it can be positive. So 480 का एसएल रख के आप होल्ड करना बाबू जी. एबीबी इंडिया अच्छा है. एबीबी इंडिया इज गुड. You can continue to hold ABB, maybe somewhere around 572s, 5725, 5750. ट्रेल कर सकते हो आरडीजी, इसको ट्रेल करके आप ऊपर चलना. आई थिंक इट्स गुड. आलोक जी इज आस्किंग फॉर एमआरपीएल. वेरी गुड. These are the kind of stocks that you should be looking. देखो कितना चार्ट स्ट्रक्चर कितना पॉजिटिव है. सो एमआरपीएल अगेन आई थिंक 187 में आप ट्रेल कर सकते हो. TD Power, wait for it to cross, give a strong close above 850, 855. I think then you can probably trail your support to around 805, 810. Finolex cables, Finolex. I think now it is kind of breaking out. It's more of एक डबल बॉटम पैटर्न भी है यहाँ पे राकेश जी. ये डबल बॉटम है नेकलाइन. आई थिंक ये इसके ऊपर अगर सस्टेन करता है 795, 800, then chances are that even Finolex cables can do well from your manufacturing है ना. Finolex cables, I think the manufacturing, I think the overall manufacturing space is doing well. I think it has kind of had a rub-off effect here. आई थिंक ट्रेंड को सी इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग रिवर्सल साइंस आया नहीं है, बट आप स्टिल होल्ड करके रख सकते हो. आई मीन देयर इज नो पॉइंट सेलिंग एट दीज लेवल्स, बट आई थिंक ट्रेंड के लिए यू कैन काइंड ऑफ हैव अराउंड 3990 as a strong. Avanti Feeds we discussed, Subhit, yes, you can hold a good stock. आई थिंक इसका प्रोस्पेक्ट्स अच्छा है. आई थिंक कैन कीप ट्रेलिंग. इसमें 1050, 1060 का एसएल रख के आप ट्रेल कर सकते हो. अच्छा, एबीबी इंडिया मीट्स माय पैरामीटर. अच्छा, ओके, वेरी गुड. आरडीजी ने बोल दिया ऑलरेडी. चलो देखते हैं कल के सेशन में हम लोग देखेंगे, ताकि बाकी लोग भी अपने एंड से प्रिपेयर करें. हाँ, एटर्नल धनी जी, सॉरी आई मिस्ड योर क्वेरी. एटर्नल गुड. आई थिंक वेट फॉर इट टू क्लोज अबाउट 305. डेफिनेटली यहाँ पे रिवर्सल साइंस है, बट इफ इट क्लोजेस अबाउट 305, चांसेस आर दैट इट कैन मूव हायर with around 280 acting as SL. Loris Lab is my choice for mid cap. Take your time, guys. I want everyone to participate. आप कल मुझे बताना, आप देखना और भी स्टॉक्स आप देखना और मुझे कल के सेशन में बताना. And then we will see. Though there are even 7-8 parameters still left. वैल्यूएशन पैरामीटर्स बाकी, जैसे आपका पी रेशियो हो गया, पेग रेशियो हो गया, प्राइस टू बुक वैल्यू हो गया, वो सब हम कल देखेंगे. आरईसी पीएफसी, आई थिंक वो मर्जर न्यूज है, बट आई थिंक नहीं, आरईसी अवॉइड करना. इट्स डाउन. पीएफसी यू कैन, पीएफसी इज गुड. आई थिंक पीएफसी 405 is where you can keep your SL. BPCL, इनफैक्ट ऑयल एंड गैस स्टॉक्स में थोड़ा सा मोमेंटम कम हो गया है. आई थिंक वेट फॉर BPCL about to break out about 389, 390. आई थिंक इसके ऊपर इट इज पॉजिटिव. 390 के ऊपर. हाँ, 392 इज गुड. यस, ये ना, ये जो प्रीवियस हाई के ऊपर एक स्ट्रॉन्ग क्लोज मिलना चाहिए. आई थिंक वंस यू गेट दैट इट्स गुड. मनोज जी, पीएफसी हमने बोला यू कैन होल्ड. एनटीपीसी ऑल्सो यू कैन होल्ड विथ एसएल ऑफ 360. एंजल वन इज गुड. इवन कैपिटल मार्केट स्टॉक्स आर एक्चुअली डूइंग वेल. बीएसई इज डूइंग वेल. Angel is doing well as well. I think it can continue to move higher. You can keep trailing your SL, Shrikant ji. I think somewhere around 2650, 2660 is where you can trail your SL. You can continue to do that. Sirma SGS. Sirma wait कर रहा. I think wait till it moves to 915. I think ये अगर ये resistance अगर पार कर देता है, then chances are that it can move higher. ठीक है. So IOC is also good. You can trail it somewhere around 172 173 के आसपास आप ट्रेल कर सकते हो. ठीक है. सो दैट्स ऑल फ्रॉम टुडेज सेशन. आई होप इट वाज इंफॉर्मेटिव एंड मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि आपको अभी टेक्निकल से ज्यादा फंडामेंटल में ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट आ गया है, बट नेवरदलेस इट्स गुड. वील डू द फंडामेंटल कॉन्सेप्ट्स एज वेल, so that at least you will pick some good stocks fundamentally if you keep these parameters in check. Okay, so I'll meet you guys tomorrow at 12:30. Let's see how many stocks you can come up with based on these parameters, and we'll try to check at least 2-3 stocks in tomorrow's session. Okay, so bye guys, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all soon tomorrow guys at 12:30. See you soon.